I'm just pretty sure I don't
I'm coming. Right here.
Coming.
Just keep poking. Keep poking.
Karthus has no flash.
Go Karthus.
I'm
on Reggie. Hide back.
Yeah, Karthus.
Hi, we're getting
I'm dead, but you guys should be fine.
I can't see.
I'm
See
going
Vayne.
behind him.
Nocturne's one hit. Nocturne's one hit right here. Nocturne, come here. Go here.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the North American Summer Split. I am joined by Vulcan, ManCloud, and Zuna. Guys coming off a pretty good win there. A game where, a little interesting in Champion Select, you allowed 3 global ultimates to go on the side of TSM, but you also confused them as well with the Ezreal pick. Mandatory Cloud, can you bring us through picks and bans?
Well, they confused us with the triple global. We were expecting the Karthus, but then they kind of got TF also, and that blew our minds.
And why didn't you ban TF on the way in?
We were just fine with him playing TF. We expected him to take Karthus over TF, and he did, but then they also took TF, so.
All right, and Zuna, playing Ashe in this one, obviously coming out in the spring and into the summer, you're more of a late game AD carry. What has the transition been like for these utility carries, obviously coming out pretty strong on them?
Well, early game Ashe is actually pretty strong if you can push to the tower because you won't die. The only problem is you can get ganked, and then I died early, and I was like, oh god. But besides that, it's not too bad. You just gotta make sure you play safe.
And you guys are chatting on the couch about a few of those deaths. Playing against that press R at level 6 composition of Karthus, of Nocturne, how do you aggress against that?
Well, I would say mostly is you don't want to bring the globals to where they can be at. You need to force the globals on themselves so they can't port to places. And we did a really bad job at that. And it just went to the point where when we could group up and they couldn't engage on us, we could eventually whittle them down, and then that's what happened.
So, Mandatory Cloud, during those kills, when you see those things happening, how do you turn the mentality of the team around to say, we can actually get around all of these globals?
Well, when you see him port bottom, he gets a kill or something, I'm just like, I'm pressuring mid. I get a lot of damage on mid turret. We actually took it after he ported out one time. You just need to pressure the other lanes and balance out the globals.
And now, moving on a little bit from the game, guys, it's been a best of 1, all of the splits. That's how it works in the LCS. Do you guys think that benefits Vulcan, and are you going to do well in the best of 3s?
I think we strive for best of 3s. Like, we have always done better in best of 3s. And for playoffs, I can't wait. I think we'll be prepared for anyone, and we'll take them out. We'll definitely go into Worlds.
Oh, yeah? All right. ManCloud, what would you say has been the biggest challenge for Vulcan coming into this season?
Beating ourselves. We've thrown a lot of games. We throw with the best of them. Getting over that was probably the hardest aspect we've had to overcome this season.
And maybe that being the answer to the next question as well. Zuna, what would you say, besides position, obviously, from spring split to summer split, what's the biggest change with Vulcan?
I would say the biggest change is how smart we've gotten. Like little plays that we used to make, we just don't make them, like little mistakes. And then I would say our biggest asset is that when someone makes a mistake, we capitalize it better than anyone else.
All right. And guys, Mandatory Cloud, you are 2 kills away from having the top kills in the league over Bjergsen and Alex Ish. Do you guys tend to focus more for you and get you to carry the game, or is this just the way it's been happening?
I've said in the past, like, give me the kill so I can get snowballing. But it just kind of happens. I just get a lot of kills. I don't know. I just get a lot of kills.
Well, I would say when he's like Rise or anyone that had teleport back in the day, he would port, and if he ported, he'd be like, why would you not give me the kill if I wasted port? And so we gave him the kills, and then he played Karthus, and he's like, I'm using alt, get the kill. I'm like, okay. So pretty much it didn't plan out like that, but that's how it happened.
All right. You guys obviously have one more game to go versus Velocity, but what's the mentality going to be like now preparing for playoffs?
Well, before Super Week, we did take like a week vacation, and we knew that we kind of needed a week, so we took it off. And now that playoffs and Worlds are happening, we're not going to take a break, just the 2-day off that we always get, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to practice until playoffs.
All right, Zuna and ManCloud from Vulcan, thank you very much for the interview. You guys have had quite a run. Hope you guys can keep it up, and I'm sure the fans are hoping the same as well. Guys, it's going to be Curse versus CLG coming up next. A lot more games to go. It's still going to be Kobe and Freak on the desk. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Rivet. It is still us. And guys, we are happy to be here. Can I just say, like, I freaking love casting these games and that you guys watch.
You love casting?
Ha ha ha. It's an original joke, Kobe. I've never heard that one before.
You're the one who said it.
Whatever. Accidents happen. What do you think I got here? No. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this. Now, speaking of you guys being part of this and being awesome, we actually wanted you to give us some answers on Twitter. And we asked you, what was your favorite game or moment of the LCS Summer Split and why? And here's what you guys had to say. Vigil63 says, best moment was Wild Turtle with the ace in the hole to the fountain. That was so hype.
I remember casting that, and I didn't actually have words coming out of my mouth.
No.
There was only sounds. So, yes, I completely agree with that one.
Next up, Andy AOE says, my favorite moment / game of the LCS is the TSM versus CLG game where Nien's Elise backdoored to defend, or backdoored to take down, and well, I mean, it says backdoored and defend to let minions win, but yeah, it was that like hour-long game at MLG. It was awesome.
That was quite possibly the most epic game that we've had in North American LCS. Just because of the crowd that was at Anaheim, you could hear everyone chanting TSM, TSM. As soon as the camera panned back up to the base, the CLG chants like merged with the TSM chants, and it was TSG, and then all the TSM ones died, and it was
TLM.
Amazing.
I'm a fan of TLM myself.
Yeah, and then there was the classic line from Nien at the end. He feels like Peter Parker when he plays Elise, and he's earned the title.
I think he has. He's done a very good job. He's drawn a lot of bans from that guy. Now, next up, KT Bryu says the Cloud9 versus Vulcan game earlier the split, that was an amazing comeback. It showed that no matter how down you see him, you're never out.
Those comeback stories are always so great.
Yeah.
Never give up, guys. You can do it. It's just one of those follow your dreams moments.
No matter what, just got to go for it, man. Now, next up, @Hungry Gamers says, my favorite game moment was when Bloodwater pulled off that Baron steal with a level 1 Jana Tornado. Pure skill and timing, and I'm going to add luck as well.
No, pure skill, he said, okay? No luck involved.
Calculated.
I got your back.
Calculated.
Hungry gamer.
135 damage, calculated. Before magic resist, by the way. So like 112. Okay, next up, Vizmeister Swag says, my favorite moment was when Riv and Kobe casted the tense moment in which Reggie battled the spider. It was funny.
That was a really good gank by the spider. Came back right at Reggie's weak spot, caught him off guard, and if it wasn't for Dyrus and the odd one, TSM would have been just done for.
They started banning Elise, and they started kind of keeping the odd one around the mid lane to counter gank. It helped a little bit for him. Anyway, those are some awesome tweets, guys. Congratulations to the winners of the Logitech Gaming Mice. Those are some very nice tweets. Very nostalgic ones, to be fair. A lot of great moments.
Yeah, and keep hitting us up on Twitter. We're at LOL Esports, and remember to use the hashtag LCS.
All right, guys. Now, with today's first 3 games in our match history, let's take a look at the standings heading into the last 5. Now, Cloud9 is in first, Vulcan's in command is second, and now TSM is clinging to third. CLG's right behind them in fourth, though.
And in 5th place, it's Dignitas, with Curse sitting in 6th, while Team Coast and Velocity are locked in at 7 and 8.
All right, guys. No, unbelievably, we're not even halfway through this epic day of gaming. Those middle 4 spots can still move around. We've got 5 more games coming your way, starting with Curse taking on Counter Logic Gaming, followed by Velocity versus Vulcan.
After that, it's Dignitas facing off against CLG, Team Coast taking on Curse, and in our regular season finale, it's Cloud9 battling Team Solo Mid.
But first, it's the second in our 3-part series, Get to Know Your Regional Qualifiers. Up next, Southeast Asia and Taiwan.
Saturday, 6 teams from Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam will head to Ho Chi Minh City to take part in Southeast Asia's double elimination regional qualifier.
Yeah, so since Singapore placed second in last year's regionals, the Sentinels will enjoy a first-round bye, but watch out because Vietnam's coming in with a major advantage.
Since they clinched last year's tournament, they're walking into this year with both a first-round bye and 2 teams in the tournament. Those are going to be Saigon Jokers and NetX Gaming.
Yeah, and we'll see if Vietnam can take the title again this year, especially since the grand finals will be a best of 3 with the winners bracket team starting off with a 1-game advantage.
Moving on to Taiwan, these regionals started out as a 12-team bid for the top. After a summer of head-to-heads, only 2 of those 12 remain, the Gamania Bears and the Taipei Snipers.
Yeah, this may come as a surprise for you guys, but the Taipei Assassins, they're out. They got kicked out. They were last year's champions, but they had some roster changes, and, you know, they lost to the Gamania Bears earlier on, so they're no longer in the running.
Yeah, they're not the same team, but the Snipers have TPA's mistake on their team, and the Bears are also going to be vying for that single spot in the World Championships at the Taipei Arena on August 29th.
And now let's move on and talk about the Chinese regionals, which are going to take place at China's League of Legends 2nd anniversary event on September 7th and 8th.
we'll see the two strongest teams from the LPL spring season, Team OMG and Team Invictus Gaming, take on the top two teams from the LPL summer season, which is still underway.
And right now, it looks like Team WE and Team Positive Energy may clinch that summer season, but if Royal Club Huangzhou gets hot, they could wedge their way in.
In the end, these four teams will be randomly divided into a winner bracket, whose champion will start off with a 1-0 advantage, and a losers bracket, who is going to have a series of best of threes that will culminate in a scorching best of 5. And the two top winners, we'll see them at Worlds.
Well, so if you want to catch up on everything about the LPL, go to lolesports.com/LPL for Papa Smithy and Pastry times English VODs of that league. Now, we've made it through 4 of the regions heading up to Worlds this fall. Coming up later in the show, we'll break down the European scene and the international wildcard. And remember to check out more info on the regional qualifiers by heading over to lolesports.com. All right, guys, knowledge buff transfer complete. We've got to take a short break, and we've got to let it all sink in. But when you return, it's time for our 4th match of the day, Curse versus Counter Logic Gaming. The North American League of Legends Championship Series will be right back, so don't touch that mouse.